Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Ninja Knight. Make sure you like the video, make sure you share the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you. So after we have recently seen Hasbro doing retro Kenner figures, it started to make me think, and it drew my attention straight to Beast Wars from Transformers, because that was a line that was involved with Kenner back in the day. Now, as you can see from here and some of the packaging I will show you later on, the packaging for these were really cool and they really stood out. Very reminiscent of what we're going to see in Transformers Kingdom, which I also thought had really nice packaging as well. I think we're going to see a big strong push towards Beast Wars in the next couple of years, given the fact that we might have a Beast Wars movie on the horizon, and with Transformers Kingdom including some of these characters, I don't think it would be any surprise to see these characters then popping up in a movie. What better time now than to show fans that you're very interested in this by doing a vintage line. If you have a look at some of the items listed on eBay, particularly with this vintage line, and if they are new within the box, which I would be absolutely shocked to see, given the fact that these are out since the 90s. But then again, we do have people that have collections from the 80s and before that in relevant properties. I think that there's no time like now for Hasbro to get on this line and for them to maximise, excuse the pun, their profits on this line, given the fact it is selling for very good money and high money on the secondary market, particularly on eBay. So Hasbro could definitely step in and get some of this nostalgia. You will have an awful lot of people that will be very interested in purchasing these figures, because some of these figures either didn't come to their lands, they didn't come to their stores, or back in those days there really wasn't anything like the internet that you could get these figures if you happened to miss out on them. I remember growing up seeing these Beast War figures and how they lined the shelves, and it was just amazing stuff to see. There's nothing like that, quite like that now anymore. So it would be cool to see Hasbro put these back on the shelves, and it would certainly bring that nostalgic feeling back. I also think that the majority of these toys have aged quite well, and they are quite sturdy, an awful lot of them, some of them more than others. But here we have the Optimus Primal and Megatron from that set. This was an absolutely fantastic looking box in my opinion, and I think both characters with the card art as well too looks absolutely brilliant. This really stands out on shelves in my opinion, and I would love to see some sort of renaissance coming for these characters. You come and look at some of the promo material that we had, and there's two characters, well I should say six, that I would really like to get my hands on from a retro point of view, because they were difficult to get back down in the day as well. So you had Baboom, you have Transquito, you also have Inferno there, so their names, sometimes you used to see these errors where Transquito is here, that's Inferno, but that's Transquito here, down here. You have Jetstorm, the Dragonfly, Retrax, this kind of nasty looking bug, Drillbit, Spitor, Cybershark. Cybershark goes for a incredible amount of money on the aftermarket, particularly if it's sealed, but also as well too if it's loose. You've got Spitor, Manterror, Bone Crusher, Snarl. These are all characters as well. If I was IDW, I would certainly be using these characters and bringing brand new characters in. Coming across to this set now, I remember back in the day it was a choice between the Maximals and the Predacons on the day that I happened to get this set, and I chose Maximals. Why? Because the names Prowl and Ironhide were on that box, and they're two of one of my favourite characters. And also we had Silverbolt, which became a lot more interesting later down the line, given the fact that we had Silverbolt as a fuser. So many a time I spent thinking, what name should the eagle be called rather than Silverbolt, and that combined into Magnaboss. Now I think if you brought those three characters back and you used modern engineering with those three characters in this new Kingdom line, and you were able to make Magnaboss, that would be absolutely incredible in my opinion. I would love to see that maybe as a Titan class. The next one was the Predacons, the one that I did turn down, and I think ever since then I really regretted it, because these guys go for a serious price on the aftermarket too, and it's very difficult to find these guys complete. Is the Predicas combiner. So you have three of these characters here that were a sort of lobster, a fly, and then a beetle that combined into this massive Predacon. I think that was a fantastic looking character, and again, like I said, I would love to see these characters appearing in the show. The idea of a combiner in Beast Wars was never really explored, bar if you want to say fusors with the two different animals that were fused together, but an actual combiner wasn't seen in the show. It was seen in the Beast Wars Neo from Japan, but never seen in the American style version of it. We did see it in the comics, for example, like Magmatron, but I think if you brought these characters out with modern engineering, that would look absolutely fantastic. But what I wanted to talk today about was the retro side of it. Those two guys had absolutely beautiful looking retro packaging, and some of the retro packaging, as I'm going to show here, it does really stand out. The artwork is fantastic. I love the bubble that they have on the box as well too. And as you can see, the characters are all packaged in beast mode, with their robot modes up in the top right hand corner, their faction symbols, and the name of the characters. I love this, and I think that this would be a brilliant way of getting fans back into this line, and certainly older fans as well too, that would be much more nostalgic about the Beast characters. I personally think Hasbro could absolutely 100% update every one of these characters within Kingdom, and I would buy every single one of them as well too. I would love to see these in a retro line, because some of these are really difficult to get. Like I said, Jetstorm commands a fairly serious price at the moment, along with Cybershark. Cybershark commands a very big price. Now, some of the original line as well too, the likes of Tarantulas, commands a very large price online, along with Dinobot as well too, but it's no surprise given that those two characters are absolutely wonderful characters. There were some great ideas within this line as well too from Kenner, the likes of Bone Crusher there being a sort of buffalo, and he turns into this massive Maximal. I absolutely loved it. The Manterror, the praying mantis that shot discs from its hands. Jetstorm kind of spat out this absolutely horrible acidy type stuff. We had Canine and Wolfang repaints of each other. However, they did look absolutely beautiful. Interesting fact for people that don't know, Wolfang was supposed to be originally in the show, and they replaced him with Tigatron because they were going to use a similar mold to Cheetor, and so that they didn't have to make an all new, brand new character, similar to what we've seen with Tarantulas and Black Arachnia, given that they had this very similar spider mode, and that their robot mode were quite similar as well too, barring two very prominent things that have Black Arachnia. So very interesting stuff I think with these Kenner figures, and particularly with the packaging. I think the packaging looked absolutely brilliant here, and as you can see here, this is kind of your smaller one-step class. Some of these characters like of Iguanus and Pterosaur, they used to flick a button and they would transform fairly quickly, quite similar to the old mech tech stuff that we've had in the movies. But these figures as well, like Snapper as well too, they command a very large price on the aftermarket now. Razor's in there as well too, a very prominent character within the Beast Wars. Clawjaw, very cool character that turned into a sort of squid. And then you had the likes of Razor Claw that turned into a crab. And then Laserbeak, of course, a repaint of Pterosaur. Laserbeak being the G1 cassette. That would have been another cool thing to see, I think, within the Beast Wars, would have been actually Laserbeak to accompany Ravage. That would have been really cool now, in my opinion. That's just fan wishing. So I think, what do you think? Do you think that these look really cool? I think that the packaging for these looks absolutely outstanding. We've Dinobot, we've Rat Trap there. Here's some fusers. I think maybe the fusers would be something I would do later on down the line. I don't think that Hasbro are going to do these straight out the gate. I think that it would be wise to move through this nearly like they did from season to season and create new characters. I'd love to see new characters that are involved in this series. What do you think about this? Would you like to see a Kenner inspired series from Hasbro based on Beast Wars? They seem to be working quite closely with Kenner for whatever reason, so I think that they might have access to these molds or to these files or whatever they've used, and I would love to see it. I would love to see these in these packaging. Imagine being able to get these brand new factory sealed and you're able to display them then in cases. I think that that would be great, because these characters are on mint on sealed card are very few and far between, and it's something I would like to see in the future. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Drop a like on the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you later. Good luck.